for Will Power. 2.5 miles to go.
Carpenter 30 back.
Will Power arcs it into turn number 1 from Toowoomba, Australia. Arguably the greatest driver of his era without an Indy 500 win.
Clear by 40.
Carpenter's not going to have enough, is he? It doesn't look like it.
Bring it home. Huge gap behind.
2 corners to go. Fans on their feet waving and cheering.
On your feet, fans. Here we go.
His 11th 500 will be the best one.
Will Power's going to win the 102nd running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Checkered flag. Power and Penske win it.
Hell of a job there, big guy. Does not seem real.
Will Power will never forget May 27, 2018. On this hot Sunday afternoon in the middle of Indiana, an incredible weight is lifted from his shoulders. In his 11th start at the famed Oval, Power is the first to cross the yard of bricks. From this day forward, the 37-year-old Aussie will always be known as an Indianapolis 500 champion. It's race day morning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a day like no other in sports, at a place like no other in the world. More than 6 hours before the green flag flies, the ceremonial cannon in the infield signals the speedway is open for business. But before any racing takes place, there is much to be done.
Cold water here!
The morning is filled with tradition at Indianapolis. The crews in the garage are making final tweaks to the cars in hopes of finding that extra edge that could take their team to victory lane. Their equipment is being pushed into the pits. Celebrities meet their fans along the red carpet. The iconic Borg-Warner trophy bearing the likeness of every 500 winner since 1911 is on display. As the drivers and their cars start making their way from the garage to the track, there are so many storylines to follow. Danica Patrick is driving the final race of her career. Helio Castroneves is back for Roger Penske for this month only. Will Spider-Man get his elusive 4th Indy 500?
We feel that we have enough tools in the car to make that happen. So I'm excited. Let's get going.
Tony Kanaan teaming up with legendary AJ Foyt, looking for his 2nd win at Indy.
We have a little bet going on, and we'll see. The bet will be, if I win this race, AJ's got to kiss me before the princess.
Ed Carpenter sits on the pole for the 3rd time in his career. Will he finally break through with his first win? Can Marco add the Andretti name to the Borg-Warner trophy for the first time in nearly 50 years? And of course, Will Power. Winless in 10 attempts in the 500, the 2014 Verizon IndyCar champ is going for the sweep at Indianapolis in May after winning the Grand Prix. The day before the 500, Power told us what a 500 win would mean.
The more you do it, the more you want to win it, the more you kind of realize how big of an event it is, and you see your friends win it, and drivers that you race against week in, week out win it. So yeah, it's top of my list.
Tradition and tension at Indy. Both are building to a climax as the engines start to warm.
Tony Kanaan,
Helio Castroneves,
Danica Patrick,
Will Power, Ed Carpenter.
We take a moment this morning to thank you for your many blessings.
Ready? Aim!
Oh, say, can you sing?
Back home again in Indiana.
Drivers, start your engine!
When we come back on Inside IndyCar, the start of the 102nd Indianapolis 500.
Lights are out of the pace car.
As the cars start to roll, Indiana Pacers star guard Victor Oladipo is pacing the field to the green.
They are lined up 11 rows of 3. Here they go, Mark.
Green.
The pole sitter gets a bit of a jump. Ed Carpenter, he slips right in front of Simon Pagenaud, and the front 3 cars are single file going into turn number 1. Sebastian Bourdais goes to the bottom of the racetrack.
One of the Team Penske cars is streaked to the outside. That looks like Will Power, but it's Ed Carpenter who controls the pace through turns 1 and 2. Further back, everybody trying to duck into space to get single file. They are clean through 1. They are clean through 2 down the backstretch.
Early on, fuel conservation is already a strategy that would play out throughout the race.
Here we are working, lap 12, and already they're thinking fuel conservation up front.
Fuel to map 2 when you can. Fuel to 2.
It is also apparent early that Danica is not comfortable in her car.
How is the balance?
Rear is a little unstable.
Copy.
We're being told that in turns 3 and 4, she's really having to get off the throttle. Danica may have some handling issues early. We'll watch that story.
Early movers include Graham Rahal, who started 30th, moved up more than 10 spots before the first round of green flag stops. Through the first 30 laps of the race, pole sitter Ed Carpenter is very much in charge, never giving up the lead until the first green flag pit stops.
Got my warning light on. Copy. Pit. Copy, pitting.
Carpenter continues his dominance as he regains the lead 1 lap after pitting. The first incident of the race involves last year's champ, Takuma Sato. He gets tangled up with James Davison. Sato had no way to avoid the slower Davison.
James Davison once again was slow going through turn number 3. He was clipped from behind. That Velarde Autosport machine of James Davison has come to a stop in front of turn number 4. It is a 2-car incident that has taken place here in the north end of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Is that Takuma Sato down on the inside caught up in it?
Yes, it is.
This wreck brings most of the field into the pits, right at lap 50. So here's your top 5. Carpenter, Kanaan, Joseph Newgarden, who started 4th, followed by Simon Pagenaud and Castro Neves. For much of the race, most of the passing would come on restarts. The 102nd Indy 500 only saw 30 lead changes, down considerably from recent years. The yellow is out again on lap 58, this time for an incident in turn 2.
And we've got a 1-car incident exiting turn number 2. It is Ed Jones. That car stepped out. The rear of that car spun 180 degrees, and he slapped the left side up against the outside wall. Heavy left side damage for Ed Jones, who finished 3rd here 1 year ago. The safety crew pulls up. Ed Jones now going to pop that steering wheel off. He appears to be okay, but the caution is out here at Indianapolis.
You okay, Ed? I'm fine.
Here we go, fans. Green flag waves. Here comes Tony Kanaan on the throttle and up alongside. And TK has the lead.
So this is the first hard exam that Ed Carpenter's going to have to deal with. We'll see how he deals with Kanaan.
And Carpenter passes that exam, just 2 laps later taking back the lead from Kanaan.
Great job, clear by 5.
Carpenter is able to hold that lead for the next 8 laps, but Kanaan is keeping it close. Lap 68, disaster strikes for Danica Patrick. Her day is done. Her racing career is now finished.
It's Danica Patrick. Danica Patrick has spun, exiting turn number 2. She has slapped the outside wall, spun back down to the inside of the racetrack. Heavy damage to that GoDaddy Chevrolet as Danica Patrick is done here at Indianapolis.
Are you okay, Danica?
First thing I said was I'm not sure really what happened, so it just seemed to come around and seemed pretty late off the corner, so I don't know. They said they looked back at the data and it was kind of like a little lift in the middle. It was a little bit of understeer and then back to it and it just swung. Definitely not a great ending, but I kind of said before I came here that I feel like if it's a complete disaster, like as in not in the ballpark at all and look silly, then people may remember that. And if I win, people will remember that. But probably anything in between, might just be a little part of a big story. So I kind of feel like that's how it is, you know? Thank you for everything. I'll miss you most of the time. Maybe you'll miss me just a little. Thanks, guys.
In 8 Indianapolis 500s, Danica finished 6 races with an average start of 11.5 and an average finish of 11.4. She was the Rookie of the Year at Indy in 2005. She had the best finish by a female driver at the 500, that being 3rd in 2009. Total career earnings at the 500 for Danica, nearly $3 million. Lap 73 is the restart. Carpenter and Kanaan again battling for the lead.
Leader has been a sitting duck, and once again, Ed Carpenter is that duck. Tony Kanaan jumps back to P1. Carpenter's now going to have to defend second as Will Power has gotten on his horse as the Aussie has moved into the 3rd spot. Simon Pagenaud runs in 4th. Helio Castroneves 5th out of 2.
Meantime, the man who won the 100th Indy 500 as a rookie, Alexander Rossi, is having an impressive day. He started second to last, but by lap 77, Rossi is sitting in 11th. Many green flag laps ahead, which means pitting under green and several lead changes, and great racing.
Helio Castroneves ducks to the inside. Jake, that's going to open the door for Ryan Hunter-Reay looking for 5th.
And all of a sudden, Hunter-Reay to the outside. Whoa, Castroneves started to go up towards the middle, started to pinch Hunter-Reay. Hunter-Reay backed out. Jay Howard was a witness to all of that. Howard, of course, lets all that lap traffic by.
Leaders now starting to head to pit road. The first one to do so is Tony Kanaan.
Hey, TK, you want that half a turn? No.
TK pleasantly surprised by the way this car has handled through this first half of the race.
A 7-second pit stop for Tony Kanaan. But the smiles in the 14 pit would soon turn. Kanaan is back in with a tire issue, and it likely would cost him the chance at his second 500 title.
Something is wrong. Okay, pit this lap, right rear pressure.
Kanaan came in leading and goes out 26th. 100 laps down, here are your leaders. Graham Rahal making an incredible run in the lead after starting 30th. He's followed by rookie Robert Wickens, Joseph Newgarden, Carlos Munoz, and J.R. Hildebrand. Coming up on Inside IndyCar, one of the scariest moments of the race. And it happens right in the pits, and we will take you the rest of the way to the checkered flag. Scary moments in the pits on lap 102 for Zach Veach.
Take a little rear wing out for you. Go, 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 go. Fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher. Go, 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 go. Keep going. Just keep going. You're fine. Remember your pit speed till the end here. Car looks okay.
No real damage. Veach would go on to finish 23rd.
We've got an issue involving Sebastian Bourdais. Sebastian Bourdais in the 18 car. He comes to rest just shy of turn number 4.
Sebastian Bourdais is out of the race after leading it twice. When racing resumes on lap 144, Will Power is running strong in the lead, and the racing is getting a little wild.
Castroneves tries to attack. Look at Rossi on the outside. Oh. Alexander Rossi with the move of the race.
You just don't do that with these new cars, but he did.
And we're getting wide.
You can tell we're getting towards the end of the race.
On lap 146, the day is over for Helio.
We have a crash! It's Helio Castroneves! Helio Castroneves hit the outside retaining wall and spins down pit road.
I had a momentum when I passed Ryan Hunter-Reay, and I thought, let's keep going. Good job, guys. Keep going. And unfortunately, when I went to actually turn 4, thanks, boys. And I thought I had a momentum to go and pass Simon, but unfortunately, the rear just gave up.
And it is now official. Helio will be back with Team Penske for the 2019 Indy 500. All these yellows are helping the leaders, saving them fuel with fewer than 50 laps to go. And Will Power is leading the pack on the restart.
Power got the jump on Carpenter, and he's going to lose another position to Rossi.
Alexander Rossi on the move again on the outside, going for second place on Ed Carpenter. Carpenter not wanting to give in.
Carpenter takes the lead briefly on lap 171 as Power pits under green.
Will Power pits out of the lead here at the 102nd running of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Indy 500. A 6.6 second stop. He is back out, trying to get back into the lead of this race.
With fewer than 30 laps left, Power and his team know they can make it the rest of the way now. Others follow him into the pits.
Oh boy, it's getting serious now.
Another 6.6 second stop. Tony Kanaan is working his way back up to the front of the pack. He's likely going to need one more yellow flag to pull it off.
Ed Carpenter saved fuel so he can pit a couple laps later because he wants to burn fuel to be able in this last 10 to run down Will Power and company.
They're going to change these tires to the larger stagger. That means the car will turn more positively. The inside rear will be a little bit smaller.
The Menards guys going hard to work. This is the quick stop. 1, 2, 3, 4 tires and fuel. Simon Pagenaud's down and away for his final stop.
20 laps left to go. They're not going to have to go full on the fuel here. They'll do the best they can. Do they make any adjustments whatsoever? Pretty good on the gun so far. Full of fuel. Down and away for Robert Wickens. Looking good here, late in the going.
That leaves Oriol Servia, Stephen Wilson, and Jack Harvey 1, 2, 3 in the lead, but they cannot make it to the end without some cautions. Meantime, Will Power is coming strong on the tail of Scott Dixon to go into fourth.
Will Power trying to make the move as Scott Dixon is that car holding on to fourth place here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Not going to hold on to it for long, Dick Gilman. He made that look awfully easy in the start-finish line.
Oh, he passed him like he was standing still.
They're by 10, Dixon. You're P4, and the 3 leaders are on different strategy than us. Just need to get them.
And we've got a car around. It's one of the ABC supply cars for AJ Foyt Racing. That is Tony Kanaan, who is spun exiting turn number 2. It is a one-car accident. He has parked that car to the inside in the grass. Tony Kanaan is out of the race at Indianapolis.
And with that, Kanaan's owner AJ Foyt heads to the garage and another yellow tightens up the field. But can the leader, Oriol Servia, now make it to the end?
Yeah, we believe so. Yeah, we think we're good.
Off of turn number 4, Oriol Servia leads the field to the start-finish line. Steph Wilson is right there. He goes to the high side. They go side by side. Harvey wants to make it 3 wide.
They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, and Stephen Wilson's going to take the lead.
With 6 laps left, Servia is fading, and Power surges past him to go into third. Wilson is leading on lap 195 until he hears this.
Need fuel. We need fuel. Pit now. Get the fuel along. Pit. Come on, let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on, here we go.
And with that, an update to pit road. We see the front 2 coming onto pit road.
Here comes Stephen Wilson. Here comes Jack Harvey. The roll of the fuel by which dice comes up empty.
You be the leader, my man.
Question now, does Ed Carpenter have anything at all for Will Power?
Here we go, fans. Next time by, white flag coming up for Will Power.
White flag is in the hand of Paul Blevins and greets Will Power as he crosses the start-finish line and heads to turn 1.
Clear by 40. All right, bud, we don't even need to get by Kimball here. Just bring it home. Huge gap behind.
Will Power arcs it into turn number 1 from Toowoomba, Australia. Arguably the greatest driver of his era without an Indy 500 win.
His 11th 500 will be the best one.
Huge gap. Bring it home. No way. Yeah! Oh my God! Hell of a job there, big guy. Good job, number 12.
Will Power's going to win the 102nd running of the Indianapolis 500-mile race.
Can't believe it, man! I cannot believe it. It does not seem real. It isn't real, my man. You are the man.
Ed Carpenter will finish 2nd. Scott Dixon will grab 3rd. Alexander Rossi 4th. Ryan Hunter-Reay completes the top 5.
Oh, it is pandemonium. I know that's a cliche, but this is quite a scene. John Buslov, the entire group, their pit stops were superb, and they got it done here in the greatest race of the season, the Indianapolis 500. Liz Power is in tears. Everyone here in pit road just stunned, but elated. Another victory for Roger Penske.
Man, I just can't believe it. I changed my attitude a lot after Barber. Very positive, had a great month. I just can't believe it. I got to thank Roger Penske, Verizon, and my parents for allowing me to get to this point. This is just, I can't describe it. I feel like collapsing. I want to cry. Oh my God, I couldn't stop screaming on the radio. I can't believe it.
When we come back to wrap up Inside IndyCar, we sit down with the champion of the 102nd Indianapolis 500. What a day for Will Power. He surges into the Verizon IndyCar lead and sweeps the month of May at Indy.
I couldn't stop screaming. I was so happy that I won. It is a huge weight off my shoulders. Until you've ticked both boxes, a championship, but more so an Indy 500 win, you haven't completed your career in IndyCar, I would say, and felt like you've been successful. On that last restart, I thought this is going to be very interesting. These guys, they got to save some fuel, so they're not going to be as quick, but it's very tough once you get behind 3 cars. Once I got past Servi, I said, all right, if I can get Jack Harvey, I have a very good shot at Wilson. But then they said they're going to pit. They're not going to make it. It's just like the gates open. When they both peeled off, I'm like, I got a fast car. If nothing holds me up now, I have a great shot at winning it. With 2 to go, I'm like, started going, I'm going to win this thing. And then 1 to go, I started screaming.
He did it! Will Power wins in his 11th start.
So happy for Roger and the whole team. So happy. It's something that I really needed, and it's just great to do it for Roger.
Yeah, great.
He is so passionate about this race. Like he always says, he was brought here when he was 14 years old.
I went for it.
This means everything to him, winning this race. So everyone in the team is aware how much it means to win it for him. She put so much into it and into me, because it's tough when you're on the road so much, and now we have a 1.5-year-old, and she works hard and she tries to make my life as easy as possible. So I can't thank her enough. I mean, she's an amazing wife, very positive.
Bring it up!
It's almost indescribable when you're coming to the checkered flag. I've never screamed so much, even on the white flag. Like, I just wanted it so bad. Everyone knows when they work hard for something, they want something so bad, and eventually it comes true. The emotion and feelings that go with that, especially when it's something as big as the Indy 500.